Hello, hello. Hey there. I just wanted to take a quick moment here to make a live video to talk about what I did this weekend. Unfortunately, because I was really busy this weekend, I am not going to have an educational video out. I actually maybe took a little bit too much time off during Labor Day, but it was fantastic. I had a great time. I ended up going mountain biking and scuba diving. I actually am still remaining landlocked, but two of my favorite interests. And it was great. I have plans made, so I am definitely excited to be sharing these plans with you and these future projects. But this weekend, I actually worked all weekend. Well, not truly working, but I was working. I was in a course the entire weekend. It was the Tactical Combat Casualty Care course, or TCCC. This is taught across the Department of Defense for every service member that's getting deployed. And there's actually a variety, there's a couple different stages. So everybody that's getting deployed learns a certain level, and then there's pseudo medical people that learn an additional higher level, but not the full level. And then the medics and physicians, PAs, nurse practitioners, nurses all learn an additional level. So this weekend was one of those physician and the higher level, higher in-depth courses. For those of you that are not aware of TCCC, it is a great system. I'll talk a little bit about it, but I also had a couple deep thoughts that I did want to get out here that make absolute sense to be talking about within Musculoskeletal Minute. And also, I do think that I will share this to my podcast, Underrated in Medicine, as well, because I do think that this covers some of the things that covers as well. So first, talking about TCCC, part of what really pushed this algorithm was the entire happenings that was made into the movie of Black Hawk Down. They started looking into that, doing an after action report, which when you look at mistakes, I talk about an after action or root cause analysis. So what were they doing? What things went wrong? What things can they change? What things can they make better? And TCCC was born out of this. Essentially at that time, it has then been undergone multiple iterations due to our time in Afghanistan and Iraq and the lessons learned. It changes things up from traditional medicine, ATLS, airway, breathing, circulation. No, this is March. We are completely changing it around, going to massive hemorrhage, then checking that massive hemorrhage, then going into airway, then we're going into respirations, then circulation, and then talking about things like hypothermia, getting them out of there. What's the environment? Is there any sort of head injury? So all of those things kind of rolling in at the end. And it has been massively successful because you can sanguinate in less than 3 minutes. And that has been the leading killer of individuals on the battlefield. So throw a tourniquet on, get them out of the way, get more care taken for them, and working on stopping the bleeding, because once blood's out, it ain't going back in terribly easily. And then making sure the airway is clear, making sure that they're able to do something with the air that gets in their lungs. So where has this been extremely successful? Well, one, it's a very successful algorithm prioritizing the things that have been killing most people on the battlefield. And also, it is now uniform across the entire DoD and even working with allies. And everyone deployed learns about this from the soldiers, pilots, everybody going downrange, all the way up to the medics and physicians. So everybody is on the same page about this, though they do have differences in what they're able to do. The soldier side of things is going to make sure people stop shooting at us. So shoot back. Throw a tourniquet on myself or my buddy. Everybody's carrying at least a tourniquet on. There's actually standardized bags that people are carrying of their first aid kit. So it doesn't matter who gets shot. Everybody has the exact same first aid kit. And so your buddy can help you know exactly where it is. The medic can help you know exactly where everything is. So standardization, and then interface across all of the levels of care. Everybody is talking the same language. Everybody is talking the same steps. So it's fantastic. It's been great for survival rates. But what I really have been thinking about through all of this that goes right along with my own personal interests is what happens afterwards. We have been fantastic at saving lives, but what about all of the rehabilitation afterwards? Yes, part of it is actually the biggest cause of all of this is the body armor. We have better body armor protects the torso while limbs are still getting shot. We throw a tourniquet on. There's only been one documented case of somebody losing a limb because of the tourniquet use. And I don't know how many lives saved. A lot of lives have been saved from tourniquet use. So it's not the tourniquet going on that's causing the loss, all of the amputations. It's the traumatic event that's causing the amputations, whereas it probably would have killed somebody prior because we have better body armor now and we're responding quicker and they're not bleeding out and dying. So what is the quality of life? What is the rehab going to be like? And that's just, I don't have the answers. That's part of where I love the field of physical medicine and rehab, able to take people, highly active, healthy individuals such as a soldier, and help them get back towards activities. And also even take a little old diabetic lady that had to lose one of her limbs due to a diabetic foot infection and working with them. So I think that that's part of why I love rehab. But I think so many things, we're taught how to save people's lives. And in medicine, we're taught how to save people's lives. We have ATLS, ACLS, our emergency medicine rotations. We're doing all of these things. But what about the quality of life? What can we be doing after their lives are saved to then be working and focusing on that quality? I don't have all the answers. I'm really looking forward to learning about those, but I've been thinking about those. What are some of the things they're going to be missing? Yes, we have great prosthetics. We can get people walking, running again. We have pilots that have lost limbs in the Air Force that are back flying again. Of course, there's restrictions. We have awesome resources available, but it's just one of these things that constantly comes to mind, and it's probably why I'm not a emergency doc or trauma surgeon, or honestly any sort of surgeon at all, is I think I want to think further about what's going on, what's the outcome going to be. So I think it's a fascinating area. I had lots of thoughts about it, and I don't know all the answers, but I just wanted to get some of these thoughts out. So we're doing amazing things, saving lives. And actually, after we get them back, we're doing really good things with rehab, getting people active again and helping them live life to the fullest. But there's also a lot more tied up. Yes, PTSD, it's gotten a lot of attention, and there's definitely something to it. And the rehab aspect of things, between those, what are some of the other influences? What are some of the other thoughts? And I just, again, I don't know. I wanted to share this with you guys, especially within Musculoskeletal Minute, and think, hey, we typically think of musculoskeletal issues as low back pain or shoulder pain, occasionally knee pain, but sometimes it is something bigger. And a lot of it can be the person's identity. What were they doing prior to an accident, prior to, actually a lot of what we learned on the battlefield has been applied for those individuals that were wounded in the Boston bombing attack. Not only were the paramedics responding, trained along similar lines of TCCC, but also then some of the outcomes and the prostheses and some of the lessons learned for rehab. So I just want to urge you, as you think about your patients, you work with your patients, even though they might not have suffered massive amputations and been through battlefield wounds, Think about what are the things that are important to them. What are they valuing? What are they wanting to get back to? And if we can do our part to help them get back to the things that they enjoy, then that is fantastic. And that is what we are here for. And I absolutely value saving lives. Absolutely. Let's save lives. Let's follow ATLS or TCCC. I love TCCC. Honestly, personally, I really hope that we will take from that and apply it within the ATLS realm. I don't know, but I'm not in charge of that. And I'm not going to become a trauma surgeon in order to push for that. But I think, of course, save the lives, but then also think about what we can start doing to better their lives afterwards, help them find their identity again, help them move towards things. And even if we are seeing a patient for their knee pain and they did not suffer an IED attack or a gunshot wound, but they have this knee pain and it's now impacting their life. So, what was their identity before? What are the things that we can do to help them? So, I really just wanted to share these thoughts. As I said, I'm going to be cross posting this. I'm going to put this on my Musculoskeletal Minute podcast because I don't have a podcast prepared. I don't have an educational video prepared. I'm also going to be cross posting this on my Underrated in Medicine podcast because I think sometimes thinking further down the line, what are some of the effects, sometimes is underrated in medicine. Also, I really would encourage you to prepare yourselves for this Wednesday upcoming on Underrated in Medicine. I have a fantastic interview that I am really excited to be sharing with you guys. It's my first interview that I've done on either of my podcast platforms. It was a great interview. We talked about all sorts of things. So go ahead and check that out. If you follow me on Musculoskeletal Minute, of course, I have the YouTube, I have the podcast, but also check out Underrated in Medicine. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts. And I talk about things that are underrated in medicine, things that we forgot about through all of our time working on becoming a physician and some of the things that we were never taught in med school. So really, I just wanted to give you guys these thoughts. Think about it, ponder on it, think about what you can do to help a patient to find themselves and to work towards their goals of restoring their identity. Thank you all for joining. I'm Tyler Bates, and this has been Musculoskeletal Minute and Underrated in Medicine.